How's it going? Another Donger deck discussion, but this time it's just the one. And it's the final champion of the new expansion, given to us by Riot for Legends of Runeterra. Welcome to Tahm Kench from Bilgewater. And his ability is so darn good that, with his fleeting 2-cost gobble spell, he's kind of class, but he has to take damage from it. So how do we stop taking damage? How do we make this 2-cost fleeting card be like a 2-mana obliterate? Oh. Freeze him. Hello. Welcome to Tahm and Ashe. Let's get this one going. So, Tahm is the third champion that was put out, apart from Shyvana and Soraka. I have done 2 videos already, featuring 2 decks with each. This is my initial thought process of my synergy is like, if he has to capture a unit and all that sort of stuff, he has to take damage. So why don't we try our very best to try and ensure that Tahm takes no damage whatsoever. So here is Tahm Kench, looking very nice there with his quill and signing a blood contract and all his hammerhead and sharky friends. So looking good. So Tahm is a 2/6 and costs 4 mana. At the round start, you create an acquired taste in hand. So this is a slow spell that's also fleeting. Tahm Kench swallows an enemy unit. I love how they write their stuff. I mean, that is just a porn star thing waiting to happen right now. It, however, strikes him, and then he captures it. So capture is a bit like... Do you remember Mage Seeker? And she had a spell that just detained a unit. It's a bit like that. So he keeps them all together, and that's pretty cool, and it's groovy. But he's got 6 health, so that's not bad. He only needs to capture 3 units, though. And then when he levels up, they obliterate. Completely removed by the game. Doesn't cause last breath stuff to happen. Can't be revived. Just gone altogether. So all captured enemies, you can even capture your own allies. Now, why on earth are you going to capture your own ally? Well, you see, when he has actually captured something, and after he's leveled up, you still get your acquired taste in hand, which is that spell. And then you obliterate my captured allies and release my allies on attack. So, everything he's captured by himself gets it. So, the base, capture units, capture 3 units, obliterate them, and release your own allies. Now, that is pretty damn decent. So, there's a lot going on in Tahm Kench. A 2/6 for 4 turns into, obviously, the +1/+1 when this happens. What can we do to maximize his survivability? Okay, so I want Frostbite, and that to me means Ashe, because Ashe can make a crystal arrow after you've frostbitten 5 enemies. So we need a lot of Frostbite. Try and keep things as big as possible, and see how we get on. So my deck has 29 units and only 11 spells. Don't worry about the spells. The spells are all Frostbite. Well, some of them. Other ones help a lot. Frostbite an enemy with 3 or less health. You want to be keeping all of your Frostbites until Tahm Kench goes. So if you get that in your opening hand, you don't want it. But it only costs 1 mana. And then you get Tahm onto the board, who costs exactly the same as Ashe. And off we go to the races. What you really want in your opening hand is this beautiful little bird, this hawk, this +1/+1 to the top 2 allies in your deck, granting additional power and health to the units, and then probably kill it off, because it, it is what it is. This entry. Last Breath, draw a card. 2/1 for 2 mana. That's an excellent card to have. Because he'd probably draw you into something kind of good. Decent blocker, okay in attack, will fulfill his role as well as the Omen Hawk does. And that is where we really genuinely should be round 1 and round 2. Now, in an ideal world, you want the Hawk and you want the Iceveil Archer. But again, you don't. In an ideal world, you want the Omen Hawk and the Sentry. Because you want to be frostbiting things after Kench hits the deck. So when... Do you like that deck, Bilgewater? I like that. These two are just really good. Buffs from the Hawk, card draw from the Sentry. Iceveil Archer will frostbite an enemy. This is how we're going to obliterate everything from the very start of the game. From the very start of the game. Because if you're frostbitten, it's par 0. It can be changed after it's been frostbitten. But even if you Pale Cascade it to a 2, then Kench is only taking 2 damage from, say, a Gangplank. So Gangplank hits for 2 and is swallowed by... I'm sorry, I just think that's hilarious. And then is swallowed by Kench, capturing him. Troll Chant we're running 2 of to give an ally +2. So if something really massive comes along, you can Troll Chant the enemy. So again, let's take Gangplank, because he is everywhere in Pirate aggro deck thing. The burn deck that is one of the best decks in the meta. And he's a big unit. He's a 5 mana 5/5. All of a sudden he's now a 3 mana 5/5. And we are a 2/8. So that seems pretty damn decent to me, that we're not taking any damage whatsoever at all, because we're only taking the 3, and then he goes to a 2/5, and the Gangplank has gone. That is fantastic. We need units. We need beefy units. And I can't run Freljord decks without Omen Hawk and the Trapper. So the Trapper is a solid 3/3. 3's across the board, across the card. And you get a 1 mana 5/5 Enraged Yeti to trade with Gangplank when he comes down, if you don't have Tahm Kench on the board. For 1 mana, he has the same stats as he does. Now that is just madness. Absolutely madness to be able to put that down. And then, if you have Troll Chant, he's a 3/5 against a 5/7. Gangplank dies. Our lovely little 1-cost Trapper Gazer has bought you that out, and you'll get it within 3 rounds. You can even get it the very next round, because it's in the top 3 cards of your deck. Which then leaves us with the underrated MVP of the Rime Fang Wolf. Again, these are all cards if you don't have Tahm. Now, Tahm is fantastic. But if something has like 0 power, you just kill it. Well, I mean, if you check out my other decks, I have a Soraka deck that has 0/2, 0/3. If it survives that, well, if it's 0, this is Challenger. You just pull it and kill it. Does no damage whatsoever. If you can Frostbite a Gangplank, this only as a 3/2 will kill it. It will kill a Trundle. It will kill anything, as long as it is a 0 power unit. And as you can see, with the Brittle Steels, that isn't going to work in Gangplank, but the Archer does. The Archer certainly does. We need health. So, Brom's favourite card, grant a damaged ally 3/3. This is phenomenal to put onto both of our champions, because our champions are a 2/6 and a 5/3. That would make them a 5/9 for Tahm Kench And an 8/6 Ashe. Hello? Hello? Now, they do need to be damaged. And Tahm is probably already damaged by this stage. The problem with Ashe is Ashe's health is very, very little, which is why we're running the Avazorian Trapper. So let's go into the two champions. There's Ashe. After you've frostbitten a couple of 5 times, you level up and create a crystal arrow, which is this. You frostbite an enemy and all other enemies with 3 or less health, and then you draw a card. So this actually replaces itself. You get it for free when she has leveled up. Her other one is a Flash Freeze, which is brilliant. It's just frostbite an enemy. So if you get 2 Ashes, use this one. You get the Ashe put back into your deck again. And then Tahm isn't taking any damage, because Tahm is going to win you the game. Let me put this really clear to you. Tahm is your win. He is your absolute win condition. He is absolutely brilliant. So his combinations of all his stuff, Bayou, I don't like. An ally captures another ally and gains the captured ally stats. If you have a second cam, I don't really see how good that is, unless you're getting something like the Yeti. He's pretty decent as he is. Unless, of course, you put it onto the Omen Hawk and then all of a sudden he captures it. It's just very... I don't like it. There you go. There's the short version. I don't like it at all. Ashe is fantastic. You all know Ashe, but Tahm is just... He's fantastic. And this acquired taste thing, we're building it all pretty much around you get this every single round, the fleeting slow spell to swallow up a unit, and we want to take no damage to Tahm. So probably we will put Take Heart on the Ashe to keep her alive. We're running 2 of those. 1 Fury of the North, they get a 3/4 at burst speed, and that is just unbelievable. But we don't want too many of these, so we're only running the 1 of. And then obviously we've done this. The Hearthguard, again, Freljord. These are the 3 cards that I cannot do without. Trapper, Omen Hawk, Hearthguard. When I'm summoned, everything in your deck, every single ally gets +1. That is fantastic. But I'm still wanting more freeze. Now, he is a brilliant unit. 5s across the board. Super solid. He costs 5, but everything's getting 1/1 right the way through. So all of a sudden you're putting out massive units now that can then compete with the new Dragons deck, with Shyvana and all that sort of carry on. Freljord can hold its own health-wise. And then with Frostbite, can overtake them very, very quickly indeed. And this card I have always adored. The first time I played this, I thought it was rubbish. It's brilliant. You're frostbiting the strongest enemy. So if you've got a leveled anything, a level champion that you need it done, you can frostbite it. If you have the Ramfine Wolf, it'll kill it. It'll just kill it. Because if you play a champion, they might attack with it. I'd block it with something. And then she frostbites it. And then you can use Tahm Kench, if you've got him down there, to swallow it whole. If he's leveled, it's obliterated. It's completely gone. It can't be bought back. Nothing can be bought back if it's obliterated. If you don't have Tahm, use the Ramfine Wolf and keep it alive to destroy, well, anything. Like, Tahm Kench can destroy Nautilus. It can destroy Ledros. It can just kill anything at all because it has 0 power. If you saw one of my other X2 videos, I adore Rally. And we will be plundering in this deck. There is no doubt about it at all. But we're only going to be running 2 of these, where we're going to heal everything. We're going to heal the Nexus 3, and then we're rallying right back. He's a 6 cost 4/5 that does all of that. Yeah, I didn't realize oranges were that good for you. Apparently they are. Citrus fruits. Yep, they are literally this deck's sponsor. He is fantastic. And even if you don't plunder, he's still a 4/5 and is an amazing blocker with a whole ton of health. Really brilliant. And then the last 2 cards, Harsh Winds, Frostbite 2 enemies. Again, perfect for helping level up Ashe, making sure Tahm Kench doesn't take any damage. And the final one is kill all enemies with 0 power and then frostbite all enemies. We all know that in Legends of Runeterra, even the best decks get it wrong, and they end up with a massive board. So think Demacia, think Ionia, 5 or 6 across. If you can frostbite them all, and you have Tahm Kench on board, you have pretty much won the game. Yes, it's a slow spell. Yes, it can be denied. Yes, they can do other things as well. If they have enough mana, they can then maybe play another unit down. But if they have a full 5 or a full 6 board, this just ruins their day, as does the Ashe's Crystal Arrow, where everything, frostbite an enemy, any enemy, and then everything else with 3 or less health goes. Most things don't have more than 3 health, apart from dragons and Freljord. We're giving ourselves the best chance to win by frostbiting as much as we can, doing a little bit of bursty stuff for the end. Fury of the North is pretty much an ender. We don't have anything in here with Overwhelm. We just have big units that we can frost things for the Archer, the Brittle Steel, the Rime Tusk, the Harsh Winds, Ashe every time she attacks, Winter's Breath to wipe out the board. This is a solid starting point to try out Tahm Kench. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I love making these videos and the decks for you to try out in the first couple of days of a brand new expansion. The deck code and all the links to our social medias will be in the pinned comments underneath, so take a look, come and join us on our Discord. And that's pretty much it. Enjoy. There's 5 decks today doing the 3 brand new champions. So until the next time, thanks for watching. Dongers out.